I must have seemed like I was stalling for time or too nervous to start. I wanted to believe that it was some attempt at deception, that I could be disarmingly weak in my resolve. But the truth was that I was busy playing guessing games. I wondered if I could bet on knowing the ready better than my opponent. We had traded losses and moved on to break the tie, but I was only saved by a small miscalculation in the second match and could not count on luck to save me again. I thrust my hand decisively over the board, but left it to hang in the air for a few moments as I paused to think about how disheveled the pieces had become. It was the last games in the semifinals, and nobody was paying very much attention to decorum or etiquette. I hate when things are out of place, but in this little den of patzers and masters, time was too valuable for neat and ordered alignment. There wasn't even a second to waste on the friendly formalities of hello and how do you do. Sit down, play well, win, move on. That was the order of things, if you were good enough. Finally, I picked up the knight, ready to start the game with a move to f3. Even if my opponent was well versed in his defenses, I was confident that I could at least maintain a balance until the endgame. Nothing satisfies my hunger for a challenge quite like a brutally tooth and nail endgame where 15 moves in each direction are flashed through the calculations as the final minutes of the clock lower the pendulum with every swing. That was the aim of saving my best opening for last. Suddenly, I felt the pendulum fall loose and cut coldly into my veins. My confidence was belied by a weak grip. I felt the knight slipping from my fingers long after it had hit the floor and rolled beside my opponent's foot. I thought that nobody would blame me if I forfeited immediately, and hesitantly smirked at my clumsy fingers still hanging above the board. Before I came to my senses, my opponent, an old Polish gentleman with a sweater vest and a wooden pipe beside his notepad, was already stooped below the table and back up again to return the errant knight. I apologized erroneously in the traditional French, "Je doube," but my opponent simply laughed as he placed the wooden horse into my hand. "Relax," he said, and grabbed his pipe. "It's only a game. There will be plenty of time for apologies when you're married."